Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.
Hey folks, we're in the top 40 now.
Huzzah!
I'm Tom Vasel.
Z Garcia, how you doing, folks?
And I'm Casey Kasem.
I don't get it.
I'm Sam Healy, folks.
Okay.
Top 40 music, got it. Okay, that's awful.
Well, we're here to talk about my favorite games. A lot of people think, that you should keep your favorite games to like 10. But me having 100 is in no way critical of those people who don't have hundreds. I don't think everyone needs to make their top 100.
I don't even have a top 10.
I get it.
Yeah.
Even though several other prominent video folks have decided they'll make their top 100s now too. Well, we'll see. Anyhow, are we ready? Not you guys. I asked you to do that.
I believe you told us.
Let's jump to number 40. All right, number 40 is a game that pushed a game all the way down into the 90s on my list because I think this version is much better, and that is Roll... Is it
For the Galaxy.
Roll for the Galaxy. I don't know why I want to say Roll through the Galaxy.
Because you're thinking of Roll
Through the ages,
Okay,
right?
Roll for the Galaxy. Now, I wasn't sure what to expect because I was getting a little worried when I first heard about this game because Tom had made Race for the Galaxy, and then each expansion seemed to get progressively not as good, right?
Worse is a word, yes.
Yes, worse.
And then I heard they was making a dice game. I was like, I don't know. All right, we'll see it. And then Jason told us it was great, which meant nothing to any of us.
Nothing.
Everything is awesome.
So we played it then, and I was just blown away. It took Race for the Galaxy. It eliminated that annoying icons from it. There's still some icons, but they explain clearly what everything does.
Written out, yeah.
I love the rolling of the dice and allocating them, and there's different strategies. The game is still quick. It works well with multiple players. In fact, I think it works better with multiple players than Race does. Race, I want to play with 2 or 3.
Right.
With Roll, I can play with more players, and it's less of a problem.
Has a steep learning curve, not a high one because, and the reason I say steep is because it goes like this and then, okay, I got it.
Yes, that I will agree on.
It's steep, but it's not high where it takes a long time to taper off. It's just like, well, what is it? Oh, okay, I got about halfway through the game. You understand what's going on.
Right.
So, but, yeah.
It does take a while to explain the dice at the beginning.
Well, the whole dice manipulation is definitely tricky. It lets you do cool stuff, but it's weird. You can take one die and move it anywhere, and you're like, wait, why am I rolling them? What's going on?
Yeah.
But I still would say it's probably a lower learning curve than Race for the Galaxy.
No,
That is true.
Absolutely, absolutely.
My favorite thing about it is probably the fact that the tiles are double-sided. I don't know why, but I love that when I get a new place, I can pick if I want a planet or a technology, an advancement.
There's a lot of good things about the game. It gives you more options, I think, and I know that some people still are diehard Race fans, and that's fine. I still really like Race itself. It's still my top 100. It's just that I like dice, but I'm not just swayed by the dice in this game. I think there's a lot of cool things to it, and the double-sided tiles, and so.
Yeah, cool.
Those diehard race fans can just go watch NASCAR.
Bad jokes just keep on rolling today.
Oh, you said rolling! All right, let's go on. Number 39 has been on the list for 4 years. This is a deck-building game I enjoy from Stronghold Games, and that is Core Worlds.
Wow.
Now, this one is on the list also because I think the expansion, there's 2 expansions. He came out with a new one last year, the Revolution, I think it's called. That one was good. I like that one. And I do like that one gave you this little hero mini deck that you have when your heroes come out and they have special abilities. But the first one, using those little symbols on the cards, and every time you play one, you get to put the tokens on different things, and then you can remove a pile of tokens to do special actions, added a layer to the game. Now, I will no longer play with this game with more than 4, and likely not even with 4, because there's some hefty downtime.
Right.
And I just can't stand that because with the expansions, there's more options.
3 is a sweet spot.
3 is a really good sweet spot for Core Worlds for me.
I don't really hear much about this game anymore. I mean, it's almost fallen off the radar.
I played it, I want to say twice, and both times I felt it was really slow.
It's mathy.
Yeah, it's mathy, right? But like my turns at the beginning of the game, you're like, yeah, this is cool. Oh, look at this guy. And then halfway through the game, I'm like, okay,
Get out
so
your calculator.
this is 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, I forgot about this. So all of these are 2 then. 8, 10, 12, 14.
I don't think it's as mathy as they're saying, but I do like it a lot.
That's why.
Okay. Anyhow, I still enjoy it very much. It's stayed pretty consistent on the list where it's at. Just again with that caveat of the number of players. That's Core Worlds.
It's a cool game, cool theme. Just too much math.
All right, here we go. The first of 3 games that are new to the list. This one is if we took from November of last year till right now, it is probably the game we have played the most of.
New game, huh?
Party style game. We've definitely played it probably 50 times.
Spyfall.
Yeah, Spyfall. We played it and 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 played it. And I really like it.
Rightfully so.
Spyfall just really popped for me.
Yes.
The idea of it. I mean, there's another game that might threaten it that, what's the artist one? Fake Artist Goes to New York. Mm-hmm. But Spyfall, I think what I like about Spyfall, where one person's a spy and everyone's trying to figure out who the spy is, I like about it is that every group I played, there's been just a different dynamic.
Right.
When we play in our group, there's like, is Jason the spy? That's a dynamic.
That's
Yes,
it, right?
Jason is the
And
spy.
I played in some groups where the questions and answers were super cryptic, and in other times it was just hilarious what happened.
Right.
But there's always a different feel based on the people in the group, and I really enjoy that aspect. This is one that, was an instant add to my collection, and I think it will be there for a while.
Yeah, totally.
This may be where I get some dislike,
Here
I think.
we go.
Well, not from you guys as much as just from
Dropping
people
good
watching.
games.
X-Wing is no longer on my top 100 list, okay? I do like X-Wing miniature game a lot, but it's been replaced for me by the Dungeons & Dragons Attack Wing. I really like that game because it has the air, the dragons just going around, and some cool magic spells, 2 ground forces, where I would rather play this than learn to play something like Warhammer Fantasy.
So
Is the Millennium Falcon in this game?
So there's ground forces in a game called Attack Wing.
Well, they have wings. They just can't fly. They're penguins.
All right, look up there. There's like
penguin forces
10
do-
dragons sitting there.
I don't know what a penguin sounds like, I guess.
So we should add.
What did you want them to call? Attack Wing and ground forces?
That's pithy.
They would
Anyhow,
match the game.
I like the models. I like flying dragons around. It's something I've always wanted a game to do, where I could like manipulate dragons, go around and shoot breath weapons at each other. It plays very quickly, easy to play back and forth.
You want to shoot breath weapons at each other? We can do that.
Thank you, guys. So anyhow, my number
It's
37.
just like X-Wing, though, right? Technically.
It's
based on the
very
same
similar.
system
With
It-
ground forces.
yes, and I like it better than X-Wing, which I know
just
is
wouldn't-
not the majority opinion.
Just wouldn't make sense if you had people floating around in space.
Yes, it wouldn't. Okay, so anyway, my number 37 is Dungeons and Dragons Attack Wing. Speaking of X-Wing, my number 36 is not X-Wing,
Oh, okay.
Armada.
but it's Star Wars Armada. I really, really like this game. I like X-Wing and flying the ships around, and there's the time where you just want to, move around.
Yeah.
But Armada with the slow capital ships and then the little X-Wings and Y-Wings and everything flying around,
Has a more epic feel to it.
it feels like you're watching those big Star Wars battles.
Yep.
Now, the unfortunate thing about this game, Melissa, is that my group of people I can play this with is really quite small.
Yeah.
Sam and Jason and a few others, Most people aren't going to want to play this with me. Or if they do want to play it, some people take it so seriously
That you don't want to play.
that I don't want to play with them. And there's a couple guys in our group who they're like, well, okay, that's cool. I'm glad you guys like the game, but I'm not playing with you. I just want to make a fleet. You make a fleet. Let's have fun. I don't.
There'll be no fun here. This is serious business.
So, but it's still amazing to me. The ships are great. One of the biggest drawbacks to this, very high price point to the game. Although the miniatures are painted, which is a good thing.
You don't get a lot for your price either.
Well, you get a decent amount, but yeah, it's pricey. But it's still, it's in with that other miniatures games. This is essentially a miniatures game. There's other big fleet games and such.
This is one of those games that I would never buy from a retailer. because it would be so expensive.
You mean like for a store?
Right. Yeah, a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
You almost have to buy this game online.
Probably.
So you can get that little bit of a discount that makes it more affordable.
Well, either way, I really enjoy Star Wars, and this is the game I picked for the space one. That's Star Wars Armada. I'll get kudos from Sam on my number 35.
That means you're gonna get garbage from me. That's all I wanted to hear.
Now, this has been on my list since this game has come out, although it was once in my top 10. I still like it very much, although I no longer own the game because Sam has all of it. And that is Memoir 44. But I mean, if I want to play it, I'll just play it with Sam.
I'm not gonna give you garbage for this.
You like Memoir a little bit, right?
I just don't want to get punched.
Memoir 44 for me is the ultimate World War II game, and it is a great war game. Love the miniatures. I've always wanted to play with the little army soldiers and as they shoot at each other.
Child. No, with you, Sam. I've played this before I played with you, man.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Don't of course this.
I've played TI3.
You didn't play like you played it before.
That's good. That was good. I'll give you that one.
So anyhow, Memoir 44, the ease of setting the game up. You set it up, you get ready to play. It is not my favorite in the series anymore, but it is still obviously very high. The Command & Color series is one I like, all the different games. But just the shooting at each other. The one thing I like about Memoir 44 is I don't sit there and have to go, what's the rules for everything again?
Yep.
No, it's there. You play it. There might be 2 or 3 rules for this scenario, and they're very simple.
But they give you cards, and they're right there on the board.
Right,
You
so
don't have
that-
to flip through the book.
Easy add to my thing, Memoir 44.
Cool.
My number 34 is a Euro game. So get off my case, everyone says I don't like Euro games. And that's Airlines Europe. Actually, it's more of a stock market game. Airlines Europe is the reprint of Union Pacific. And to me, the reason I like Airlines Europe, and this has been on the list for, this is the 5th year it's been on the list. It's so clean of a system. You can see Alan Moon when he put this together. This was like the beginning of how clean a system Ticket to Ride was later on.
Right.
In fact, Union Pacific had a little bit of messy parts, and he cleaned those up in the Airlines Europe. And it's just the concept of owning stock in the different companies and growing those companies at the same time. Do I grow a company, or do I invest in stock in the companies as they grow? Works really well. Again, this one works well with a different number of players. It looks good. It's one I still will gladly play with folks. Just played it a couple months ago and just really find it a great game.
I actually haven't played this one. I've played Union Pacific, but I've not played Airlines Europe yet.
I don't know if you played Airlines Europe.
I've played both of them. I like Union Pacific better.
Is that because you like trains better than planes?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, there we have it. Number 34, Airlines Europe. My number 33 is another Commands and Colors game. I like this one a little bit better than Memoir. It does not. It starts with a C. Commands and Colors Ancients. Now, well, you can't. I don't think you dislike it, do you?
Well, it's my least favorite of that system.
See, I really like this one because I love that it has these armies that are kind of marching towards each other and then going to combat.
What do those armies look like?
I don't mind the blocks with stickers on them, though.
Wood.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it is. For me, it is. It's aesthetically displeasing.
I don't know, though. This allows them to put a whole lot more units in the game than if they made miniatures for all these different units.
Memoir doesn't need any more units.
Okay, well, again, if you notice, it's like 2 ahead of Memoir. They're really close for me. I mean, for many years on my list, I had them tied. You know, they were both in the same spot. Because I thought, because when I want to play a deeper, more strategic game, I'll play the Commands and Colors Ancients. When I want to play faster, just chuck dice, I'll
You're
play
talking
Memoir.
about like more units in the base game?
Yeah, there was more units in the base game. There was elephants.
Yeah, but
What they
again,
look like?
They were bigger blocks.
I don't care.
Oh, they were bigger?
Slightly.
Stop.
Something.
You're a troll. All right.
Play this one. I don't think I'd like it. And again, it's just the visual appeal for me. I'm like, I'm running.
All right. Well, that's Commands and Colors Ancients. Number 32 has been on the list for a long time, and it was even close to my top 10. It's probably my favorite party. No, it's not my favorite. It's my second favorite party game on the list. And of course, I'm going with my own custom version of it, and that is Faces.
Oh, wow.
I really like Faces. Now, I tried to get Faces into the Dice Tower Essential line, and we were actually pretty close. We didn't because there's other games in the market. This will be a hard one to sell to people. But I think the concept is great, and the hilarity that ensues every time I bring this out, the game ends because I say, we're done playing this.
Yeah.
It never ends because people are like, okay, can we play something else? No, it's always like, okay, guys, we're done. Oh, okay, fine. And I like that. You know, that means the game is fun. My kids and I, we play this all the time. Holly will always ask to play Faces, even with 3 people, which is, I'm like, we can't, you know, there's 2 faces, pick one.
Right.
But I just played this with a group of kids last month, and everyone had a blast with it. You just laugh at the pictures, and so that's Faces. I was just at the store the other day looking at Buffalo games and thinking, man, why did they stop making Faces?
Yeah.
Games about buffaloes?
No. Number 31, you might think that it would have been higher on my list, and it may go higher. Well, I know, but I think some people thought this would be in my top 10. This is a brand new game, came out at the very end of 2014, another Star Wars game, and that is Star Wars Imperial Assault. I really like Star Wars Imperial
I
Assault.
would have thought top 20, but top 30 is decent.
Top 31, technically, but...
Top 40 then? Oh.
But anyhow, I like this game, but I'm telling you, the more I play this, the more I'm leaning towards playing the 2-player battle in it.
Not the story-driven.
The story's just, but that's the thing. I really, you know, when they first came out, they said there's a story-driven part and then there's this battle part, and I was like, yeah, you guys kind of took that battle part and threw it in the box. But they didn't.
You like that better?
Maybe.
The thing, I think
It's easier to play.
With the campaign, you have to play with the same people, or you have to have it bagged to where each character has its own stuff from story to story.
Got it.
With a skirmish, you just build your sides and have at it.
Got it.
And I think that's why he likes it better.
And that's exactly right. And the skirmish is fun, and it's fast.
Yeah.
It's a really fast skirmish game. And you recorded us playing it one time.
I did.
We played one live, and we played that like in 45 minutes, basically.
Yeah, it's quick. I haven't played it because I'm not much for dungeon crawls, and this is sort of a dungeon crawl.
And it's more like an FPS, the skirmish side of it.
Okay, right. But I mean, that type of game, I'm not... I like 3 of them. You know what I mean? It's not my type of game.
Right.
But I like that it is Star Wars is cool, and I like that it is a streamlined game that seems like a big game, but you can knock one out in like 45 minutes.
Right.
Or you can do the story, you know, it's cool. It offers a lot.
Yeah, it does.
So that's the end of this week's. We are now going into the top 30. There was a lot of new games added this time. In the next top 10, there is no new games added, but there are some great ones that have maneuvered around in my top 100. And, well, you'll have to wait and find out what they are. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
Zeker, see ya.
Casey Kasem.
Shut up!
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.